Hey guys. Hey Jack Squad, how's everybody doing? Hope all is well, and I hope you're making it happen for yourself. Got to make it happen for yourself, right? Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. My goal is 5,000 subscribers, so please help me get to that, reach that goal like you helped me reach the other goal, right, of 2,000. And so that means share and like and comment. I welcome you comment. Somebody, let me say this right now. One of my subscribers, and I can't find it, I've looked for it, told me to watch a couple of shows because they know I'm a TV head, right? The one show was Savage Beauty, and coincidentally, I had already started watching. I'm on episode 1 of that. I forgot about it because I was so intrigued with this other show I was binge watching. So whoever you are, because I forgot, please tell me what the name of the other show is. One is Savage Beauty, and the other one I forgot. I read it, but then when I went back to find it in notes, I couldn't find it. So please tell me what the other show is. And also, all of my social media stuff is down in the description box, as well as my email and my Cash App. Please hit that Cash App for me. Thank you very much. Yeah, so like I was saying, I want to know what that show is. Let me tell y'all something I've been sleeping on purposely, only because, and this ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about today, but I'm talking about it now. Only because sometimes I can't understand them. But the African shows and the African movies have really good titles and plots, but sometimes I can't watch them. Now, after I watch Young, Rich, and African, I'm just so engaged with the African culture, right? They're beautiful people, the way they dress, like I'm just so enthralled in it, right? So I got Discovery Plus so I could watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I was streaming. I got all the streaming apps, child, because I ain't got no more cable. So on there was The Real Housewives of Johannesburg. I had never heard of it. And evidently this came out right before the pandemic, but they just put it out on Discovery, right? My girlfriend said she saw it. I told her about it yesterday. She said you can find it on YouTube. When I tell you, these ladies are gorgeous. Gorgeous, right? The hair, the makeup, the clothes, the styling, the opulence, the way they live, everything. So now I want to go to Africa. I got a friend right now, him and his wife moved to Ghana last year during the pandemic, right? And right now, as we speak, they're traveling around Africa. Like yesterday, I think they were in Ethiopia somewhere. Like, listen, I've got to go. I had an aunt, my aunt that I told you I talk about all the time. She went twice, right? And she told me those are the most beautiful people you ever see. And I see that when I'm watching these shows. So, like I said, Savage Beauty, I started watching. I'm on episode 1. Matter of fact, I just finished episode 1. When later on tonight, when I get finished, I will be watching that. I'll be watching that. But please, my subscriber / friend, please tell me what the other show was that you told me to watch, because I can't remember. And I can't find the note. But anyway, y'all, real quickly, I want to talk about my move to Atlanta, right? And I know people probably saying, well, you had just moved to Charlotte. What you moved there for, right? So I'm going to tell you why. I moved to Charlotte because that had been a dream of mine that I kept to myself all of my life. For the last probably 25 years, right? I wanted to go to Charlotte. I wanted to go to the Carolinas. Wasn't quite sure which one, South or North. I wanted to go to the Carolinas because I wanted to be South, but I didn't want to be South, like Alabama, Mississippi, whatever below that. I didn't want to be South. I wanted to be somewhere in the middle South, right? So once I became single, I started doing research on North Carolina, South Carolina. Initially, I wanted to be in South Carolina, Columbia, right? Went to Columbia, a little too country, nice, weather nice, everybody, people nice, people friendly, but it was a little too country. So I went back to the drawing board and come up with North Carolina. Okay. So I moved to North Carolina after a couple of years of preparation, right? At least 18 months of preparation, saving my money. I moved, right? Even though I had a home in Cleveland. Charlotte, I lived right outside of Charlotte, little suburb right outside of Charlotte, right? Charlotte gave me everything that I asked God for. Okay? It was clean. It was safe. It was ultimate in safety, the area I lived in, right? Because I didn't live in Charlotte, I lived outside of it. It was safe. It was clean. It was not as expensive as Charlotte. It was everything I asked for. I didn't hear, I was tired in Cleveland of listening to sirens all day, all night, especially at night. I was tired of hearing gunfire all day, all night, especially at night. I was tired of seeing hopelessness. I was tired of seeing despair. Also, it was kind of getting to me when I would see people that I knew, grew up with, or whatever, and they were old looking, right? It was a lot of factors that said, okay, I'm out of here, right? And like I said, I have been wanting to go to Charlotte. Charlotte gave me everything I needed. I did not, and then I moved in January. 60 days later, the pandemic was here. So I didn't really get to explore. Charlotte is a very clean city, too. Charlotte is. Where I was at, too, and Gastonia is as well. Very clean, very quiet. I very rarely heard sirens. I don't even know them people had fires. I very rarely heard sirens, right? I loved all that. The peacefulness I loved, right? And then I started working and they sent us home in March. So I was in the house for 2 years, as y'all know. And for new subscribers, I was in the house for 2 years because I worked from home, didn't go nowhere but to the store and back, and would fight you almost if you came by me without a mask on, right? So I lived through that in Charlotte. When my daughter moved to Atlanta last summer, I started driving back and forth. It's only like 3 hours, 3.5, because they were working on 85 South. So they were working on both of them, South and North. So it would take maybe 3.5 hours, right? But at any rate, it wasn't far, and it was easy, and it was a straight shot. So I started going back and forth to Atlanta and discovered that I missed seeing us. What do I mean by us? Black folks. I missed it. Didn't realize it because the area I lived in was mixed, but it was a lot of Mexicans, white folks, black folks. But the black folks are a different kind of black folks, and I'll get into that in a minute. And so I didn't realize that I missed seeing black folks. Okay. Also, the food. I could hardly ever find what I wanted to eat in where I live, And then I would drive to Charlotte and be disappointed. That was one thing, right? So the food for me is a must, right? I don't eat a lot, but I like to eat good when I do eat. And I'm a soul food head, right? You would think down in Carolinas they would have a lot of it, but they don't. And what surprised me all the time was when I would go to a soul food restaurant and it'd be Chinese, Mexicans, like, you can't cook my soul food. You might can cook something else, but you can't cook my soul food. My soul food need to come from a black woman, an old black woman, preferably fat, with fat arms, back there telling the people what to do or something. Everybody can't cook my soul food because you ain't got soul, right? So, as I was going back and forth last summer, I said, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. Now, the cost of living is much higher than where I was, and definitely much higher than Cleveland, right? But the weather is still the same. The weather is still nice. It's still warm. It's a pleasure to walk outside in the morning. You ain't got to put on a heavy coat, boots, hat, all that stuff, right? Unless you want to, right? And then I was caught in a dilemma because it was maybe September when I realized it. September, October. My lease was up in December, so I had a very short span of time to find somewhere. And initially, I could not what I could afford, right? Cost of living is high here as far as rent goes. Couldn't find what I wanted. But me being persistent and making it happen for myself, I kept on. I looked day and night online. I looked. I prayed, right? And I had actually packed up my stuff without knowing where to go. My kitchen, especially my kitchen stuff, right? And I was just praying and hoping and wishing I find me a place because I didn't want to stay there another year. I did not want to stay there another year. And I didn't want to break. So I was going to break the lease. I said, well, I'll just break the lease. Well, when I first moved, they said it's $1,000 to break the lease. Okay, fine. New people bought it. They said it was $2,000. I ain't got no $2,000 just put up in the air like that, right? So I looked, and God blessed me with his grace and mercy, and I found this house where I'm at right now, right? And I'll be here for a while unless, something fantastic happened and I'm able to buy one or something, right? But the market is off when I ain't got no money no way, so this is where I'll be, but it's perfect. It's everything that I wanted, right? And the crazy part, I know I told you all before, when I came and looked at it, it was a little chilly that day. I came, looked around, everything was cool. Yeah, right? Told the guy, yeah, I want it. I'm going to rush you your deposit or whatever, right? Or put in an application. You had to put in an application, right? And my credit is not the best. It's not the best. And so I didn't know what they were looking for, but my cousin said, as long as you don't have no, my cousin that lives here said, as long as you don't have no evictions, they'll probably let you in, which is what happened because I didn't have no evictions because I own my house. So here I am. So the location is great. Now, what I didn't know until I moved to the Carolinas is that and I've said this before, because I live in Ohio, Ohio's a big state, it's up at the top. It takes you 4 hours to get from Cleveland to Cincinnati, which is at the bottom. And the other way, ain't nothing the other way but the lake, right? So people go to Detroit just like Cleveland. People go to Pittsburgh just like Cleveland, just the same old raggedy, rust-built town, right? Full of violence. So ain't nowhere to go. What I like about down south is the states are smaller. You can go from state to state so easily. So easily. Like, all my life I've been missing this. Why didn't I know this? I recognized this about maybe 5-6 years ago before I moved to Charlotte. But why didn't I know this? Why didn't I know this? And I had a globe in my house. And once I started deciding I wanted to move to the Carolinas, I looked at the globe. I would look at the map all the time. That's how I decided what cities I wanted to go to. And, when I would research these cities like Raleigh, Winston-Salem, Durham, I researched those cities before I picked where I was at, right? And when you're down south, you can go like people. I talked to a guy today. He went to Florida the other day. Now he lives southern Georgia, but it's easy to get to Florida, right? Florida for me is like 6.5 hours, but still, I can go to all these places in my car if I choose to, and I am, right? And I am. And so Alabama, like I went to the rodeo. That was only 2 hours away, y'all. Montgomery, only 2 hours away. So I like the location of where I'm at. That's one thing. The other thing is the weather. I've told y'all that about the weather, right? Weather is gorgeous. Now, there are a lot of trees here, and I like the trees. Like, someone had told me, because my house it's about 10 trees in my front yard. There's trees all in the back. I got a big backyard. That I would probably have to turn my air on. And we've had some 90-degree days, and I've had not to turn my air on. The most I've had to do is use my ceiling fans and a regular fan, right? And I don't intend on turning the air on. I don't, because the gas is high enough, right? So I like the weather. Hands down, I like the weather, right? I was talking to my friends the other day, some guy friends, my daughter's father and his friend that I grew up with. And he was like, when you gonna move back? Ain't nobody moving no back. Who moving back? Back to what? First of all, to what? So anyway, the food. I cannot tell y'all how much food it is down here. And my kids and my fat friends was like, don't get fat. I'm not gonna get fat because I don't eat a lot, but I love food. I love food. I love soul food. Soul food is first, maybe Italian is next, right? I like seafood and stuff, but I don't have to have crab legs. Crab places is all around, everywhere, right? I see they just put up one. Where did I just see that at? They just opened up. Oh, right down from me where I went to the beauty supply. So food is everywhere. Food is everywhere. You won't have a problem finding food. Let me tell you what I didn't like about when I was in Charlotte. Everything closed up at 10. And I didn't know that because it was a pandemic. So one night I got hungry and I wanted to go get something to eat, child. Everything was closed. It was like a ghost town. It was 10 o'clock. It was 9:55 or something, right? And I found the store. I found a little corner store. I was like, ooh, let me go in here. He was shutting down. He looked at me, I can't do that. Y'all know I'm from Cleveland, big city. It's open 24 hours with certain spots, right? Can't get nothing. So you got to get all your wraps, all your zooms, and wham, before 9, 10 o'clock, or it's over with. Here, you can go. It's so much everywhere. I can go this way, that. It's so much everywhere. So much of everything that you want everywhere. That is the deciding factor when I was visiting my daughter. Like, everything, I've never been to a city that is catered to black folks, to us. Everything that we want is in abundance here. And I see why everybody moved here. Because everything we want is right here, right? Everything. I'm talking about beauty supplies. I told y'all the beauty supplies is like heaven to me. I love beauty supplies. The beauty supplies is like, I want to hug everybody. I remember the first time I went in a big, they all big too for the most part too, like big stores. Not like in Cleveland, you got a little bitty place. You got to scoop this way and scoop that way. So you got a couple that might be big, but for the most part, they're small, right? They're not spacious. Let me tell you something. When I did a video on it, when I went in this one store, I was so excited, elated, enthused. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to give everybody a hug and a high five, right? Oh my God, what? As a woman, black women especially, we love our beauty supply. I love my beauty supply store. I just was in there earlier. It's all kinds of things you can buy in there and look at. Oh, you be like, oh my God, they got this? Listen, love the beauty supplies. They're everywhere. They're in abundance. Like at home, you got this one down here on 55th, and you might have the one up on Miles. Like, you know, they everywhere. They might not have all the stuff you want, but they everywhere. Now, the one I go to, I just go to one, and I'm in love with it since I started coming out here last summer. I love it. I ain't going nowhere. It's some more closer, a little bit closer, but I don't care. I'm going to the one I like by me. Anyway, the beauty supplies. Everything black folks need is here in abundance. Everybody comes here. As far as entertainment, every weekend there's somebody here performing. Old, new, young, everybody. Everybody comes to Atlanta. Everything comes to Atlanta. I did not know that, right? I listen to it on the radio all the time. You're like, dang, what? Churches. A lot of churches. Now, I haven't found a church that I like yet. I'm going to a church Sunday. Matter of fact, you have to register. I don't know if you still have to register. I've been visiting a few of them. I ain't really like them. Ain't nobody hit that button for me, right? But there's a lot of them here to go to. So I'll be, I like that fact that I got a lot to pick from, right? Skate rings. Now, I don't know if I told y'all, but I'm telling you now. I'm going to buy me some skates. Probably in the next few weeks when I get some money. So if you want to donate, help me get some skates, y'all. Help me get some skates, right? I'm going to buy me some skates. And I reached out to the skating rink. And they have a trainer, and she charges $25. They told me to go on her Instagram. I went on her Instagram, sent her a message. She responded, it's $25, and I think she's doing it on Wednesdays or whatever. I am going to start skating lessons. I want to roller skate. There's a roller skating rink right near me. The one that I'm going to is a little further, about maybe 30, 40 minutes. But I'm going because I want to be there, and I like that area in Smyrna, Georgia. That's actually where I wanted to move initially. And then the rent was $1,100. And when I went back to check before I got ready to move here, the rent was $1,800, child. I was like, oh, no. But anyway, love the skating. The housing, let me just tell y'all this. The energy that I received. Like, when I was in the town I was in there near Charlotte, it was nice and it was quiet. My girlfriend, she used to live there, one of my friends, and she said, that's where you go to die. Which, when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, because it's so peaceful. Ain't nothing to do, ain't nothing to eat, but you're going to be safe. They had 5 different police entities in that little town. You're going to be safe. But what I like about here is the housing. The housing is modern. It's modern. Like Cleveland has old houses. Like my house was an old house, built 1920s or something like that. The housing is old. I don't know what's a suburban, what's not, because it all looks suburban to me. I haven't really delved into this actual city of Atlanta. I live like about 10 minutes. I'm in Decatur. But it's very modern living. Okay? It's uplifting. Like if you ride around in Cleveland in the hood, in the urban area, you're going to feel sad and depressed. For sure. This gives me happy. I'm happy. Gives me happy vibes, right? And I like to be happy. It's happy vibes every day, every day, every day. And when I ride past these homes, it's black folks coming up out of. I don't know where the white folks live, but they ain't living around here, right? They're living well. I don't know what they do, but they living well, okay? And that's inspirational and motivational for me, right? For me. I don't have to see all that. Now, there is a lot of homeless here. A lot of homeless here. And I'm guessing because shit is warm, you can be outside. I see a lot of folks sleeping outside. I couldn't do that. I went to the post office yesterday, and there was a guy sleeping on the ground. I wasn't sure if it was garbage or a guy, but it was a guy. He had plastic around his feet. I don't know what that was about. But there's a lot of homeless. A lot of homeless. Like in Cleveland, the homeless are concentrated. And it may be a lot of homeless in Cleveland, just that they're concentrated downtown predominantly. They all down up in downtown. Them white folks can't get rid of them. That's because that's where the shelters are. Now, I don't know where the shelters are where I live, but it's a lot of homeless. It's a lot of homeless. And I see the same ones every day begging with the sign. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if you can walk up and down every day with a sign all day, why you don't go to a temporary place? Why you don't go somewhere and get you a job, right? Anyway, it's a lot of homeless here. That's the only thing, the negative that I can see is a lot of homeless, but it's probably a lot of homeless everywhere. Just in Cleveland, like I said, they're concentrated. Because you ain't gonna be laying. It's a lady, she sleeps on the ground, and I see the man. You're not gonna be laying on the ground where I come from. Somebody being shot, you stepped on. You're not gonna do that. That you're not gonna do. The men. This is what I got to tell y'all. The men are gentlemen. Now I don't have a guy. Ain't been on. Well, I did go on a couple days. The men are gentlemen. They hold the door. They go out of their way to hold the door. Not just hold the door because you right there. No, if they see you down there, they're going to stand right there and hold it. Yesterday, I was going out the door, and it was a little uncomfortable way to get out. The man held his arm up so I could go up under there and go out. They hold the door. Every day that happens to me. Every day. Every day. I watched it this morning. A lady, and I always say thank you. I watched a guy hold the door for a lady today, and she kept on walking through it, didn't even say thank you. But the men are gentlemen in that aspect. So I guess that's part of the Southern mentality, Southern hospitality. The men hold doors. You don't have to hold no door. I don't care what kind of man they is. Mostly the black men, they hold doors. Young and old. And you know what else they do, y'all? They still say ma'am. They still say ma'am. Sure do. Yeah, so that's my experience so far. I'll probably give an update in another 6 months or so, because I've only been here, January, February, March, April, May. 5 months, right? 5 months. I'm totally satisfied. I don't have any plans on moving anywhere else. Even though I've moved around, I've lived in several cities. This is it. Cleveland is my home, but this is it. This is it for me. This is it. This is absolutely it, right? The energy, like I said, the energy, the happy, and I'm happy. Like, I ain't got no money and I ain't got no man, but I'm happy as shit, right? It's the energy, right? It's the everything for me, right? So listen, just wanted to let y'all know that I'm happy here. For my new subscribers that said, what you just hear, like, it ain't like I'm crazy. And then, listen, you have to live your life, right? And do what makes you happy. And I told y'all, I am constantly chasing my happy, right? I got a girlfriend I talked to last night. Hopefully she's moving to Florida. And I can drive down there where she at. And we can go back and forth on the one-day trip to the Bahamas, right? I'm looking forward to that. So, Mo, when you watch this, know I'm ready, right? That's my girl. So, anyway, y'all, I just wanted to give y'all a quick little update before I get up out of here. Everybody be safe. Make sure you make it happen for yourself. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. Help me reach my goal. And please, please, please hit that Cash App. Hit that Cash App, y'all. Anyway, everybody be cool and stay safe.